Right now, over 500 million people around the world are living with diabetes. That's more than the entire population of North America. But here's what's incredible: there's one simple pill that completely revolutionized how we treat this disease. This tiny tablet has a story that will blow your mind. It starts with medieval shepherds, travels through centuries of forgotten science, and ends up saving millions of lives. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this drug didn't just treat diabetes, it changed everything we thought we knew about medicine. The drug I'm talking about is called Metformin. And chances are, you've never heard of it. But it's actually the most prescribed diabetes medication on the planet. Over 120 million people take this pill every single day. Doctors call it their first choice for treating type 2 diabetes. Patients call it a lifesaver. But this wonder drug has a history you won't believe. It's a story of lost knowledge, stubborn scientists, and one French doctor who refused to give up. Let's start from the very beginning, because this journey is absolutely fascinating. Our story begins in medieval Europe, in the countryside where shepherds watched their flocks. They noticed something strange. Goats that ate a particular plant called goat's rue seemed to urinate much more than normal. This wasn't just a random observation. These shepherds were smart. They connected the dots. If this plant made animals urinate more, maybe it could help humans who had the pissing evil. That's what they called diabetes back then. Medieval doctors started giving goat's rue to patients who couldn't stop urinating and were always thirsty. And it worked. Not perfectly, but people felt better. What they didn't know was that this humble plant contained a powerful compound called guanidine. For centuries, this knowledge passed from healer to healer, but nobody understood the science behind it. Then came 1918. Scientists finally figured out what made this plant special. They discovered that guanidine could actually lower blood sugar levels. This was huge. They ran experiments and saw incredible results. But there was one massive problem. The compound was dangerous. Some patients got seriously sick. Others even died. When insulin was discovered in 1922, it was safer and more effective. Everyone forgot about the ancient plant medicine. Guanidine research was abandoned and buried in old medical journals. But the story doesn't end there. Enter Jean Sterne, a French physician working in the 1940s. While other doctors were focused on insulin, Sterne was digging through old research papers. He was obsessed with the idea that guanidine could work if made safer. So he started experimenting. He created dozens of different versions of the compound. One by one, he tested them. Most failed. Some were still too dangerous. But then, he created something special. Sterne developed a modified version he called Metformin. It worked like the original plant compound but without the deadly side effects. He was so excited about his discovery that he gave it a nickname, glucophage, which literally means glucose eater. In 1957, Sterne published his first results on human patients. The results were incredible. Blood sugar levels dropped. Patients felt better. And nobody died. France became the first country to approve this new drug. But convincing the rest of the world was a nightmare. Europe embraced metformin in the 1960s. Doctors there started prescribing it regularly. But America, they wanted nothing to do with it. The FDA remembered the dangerous side effects of the original guanidine compounds from decades earlier. They were terrified. For 38 long years, Americans couldn't access this life-saving medication. It wasn't until 1995 that the United States finally approved metformin. That's nearly 4 decades after France proved it was safe and effective. Here's where things get really interesting. Most people think metformin works like insulin. It doesn't. Insulin adds hormones to your body to control blood sugar. Metformin is completely different. Think of it as your body's metabolic manager. It doesn't add anything new. Instead, it talks to your organs and tells them to work smarter, not harder. Metformin does three incredible things inside your body. First, it goes to your liver and says, "Stop making so much glucose." Your liver naturally produces sugar, but in diabetics, it goes crazy and makes way too much. Metformin puts the brakes on this process. Second, it travels to your muscles and helps them use glucose more efficiently. It's like giving your muscles a better fuel injection system. Third, and this is amazing, it goes to your intestines and reduces how much glucose your body absorbs from food. It's like having a bouncer at the door, keeping excess sugar out. But here's what makes metformin revolutionary. Unlike other diabetes drugs, it doesn't cause dangerous blood sugar crashes. You know those scary moments when diabetics suddenly feel faint and shaky? That rarely happens with metformin. Even more shocking, it actually helps people lose weight. Most diabetes medications cause weight gain. Metformin does the opposite. It works with your body's natural processes instead of fighting against them. This is why doctors fell in love with it once they understood how it worked. Then came 1998, and everything changed. British researchers published the results of a massive study called the UK Prospective Diabetes Study. They followed thousands of diabetic patients for years. What they discovered shocked the medical world. Metformin didn't just control blood sugar. It prevented heart attacks and strokes. It reduced diabetes complications by 30%. Patients lived longer, healthier lives. This study changed medical guidelines worldwide overnight. But the surprises didn't stop there. Doctors started noticing that metformin helped with other conditions too. Women with polycystic ovary syndrome found their symptoms improved. Pregnant women with gestational diabetes had better outcomes. People struggling with weight loss saw results they'd never achieved before. Then researchers made an even more incredible discovery. Early studies suggested metformin might help prevent certain types of cancer. By 2012, medical organizations around the world made metformin the first-line treatment for type 2 diabetes. If you're diagnosed with diabetes today, this is probably the first drug your doctor will prescribe. It's become the gold standard because it's effective, safe, and affordable. But scientists are still discovering new benefits. Current research is exploring whether metformin might slow down aging itself. Some studies suggest it could help people live longer, healthier lives even if they don't have diabetes. Let's talk numbers, because they're absolutely mind-blowing. Metformin is now the most prescribed diabetes drug on the planet. Over 120 million people take it every single day. That's more than the population of Japan. This one medication has prevented millions of diabetes deaths. The annual cost savings from preventing complications runs into the billions of dollars. Hospitals see fewer heart attacks, strokes, and amputations because of this simple pill. But the real game changer wasn't just the medication itself. Metformin transformed how we think about treating diabetes. Before metformin, doctors focused on managing blood sugar after damage was already done. Now, the focus shifted to preventing complications before they happen. Metformin proved that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful. It showed that an older, cheaper drug could outperform newer, more expensive treatments. Here's what's truly incredible, though. After decades of use, scientists still don't completely understand how metformin works. New mechanisms are discovered regularly. Researchers are finding connections to brain health, kidney function, and even mental well-being. Some studies suggest it might help with depression and cognitive decline. There's ongoing research into whether it could treat fatty liver disease and certain types of cancer and even slow the aging process itself. This medieval plant compound might hold keys to treating diseases we haven't even connected yet. The story of metformin isn't over. It's still being written, one discovery at a time. So there you have it. From a medieval herb noticed by shepherds to the world's most prescribed diabetes drug. Metformin didn't just treat a disease, it completely transformed how we approach medicine itself. It proved that sometimes the most revolutionary discoveries are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look deeper. This tiny pill has saved millions of lives and continues to surprise scientists every single day. What other simple, overlooked solutions do you think could change the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story amazed you as much as it amazed me, hit that subscribe button for more incredible medical breakthroughs that changed everything. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.